Coming up next, from San Fran Freak Show, the Savage Nation, from Talk 910 KNEW.
Imagine discovering an opportunity that can completely rebuild your retirement fund by 40% over the next 2 years. Does it sound too good to be true? It's not if you take action today. Call my good friends, and I mean good friends, at Swiss America. Gold IRAs have averaged 20% per year growth since 2001. It's just common sense to roll over dead paper assets into gold, the best performing asset of the century. Then you can relax no matter what happens on Wall Street. Call now for a complete Gold 101 DVD and my free CD.
Call toll-free 888-867-8965. That's 888-867-8965.
For nearly a decade, I've told you to trust gold coins and Swiss America. Today, it's more urgent than ever. Get my CD, DVD, and new special report.
Call toll-free 888-867-8965. That's 888-867-8965.
Learn before you earn. Don't just imagine rebuilding your wealth. Do it now.
Call 888-867-8965 today.
The Savage Nation.
He has it all covered.
Weekday afternoons 3 to 7. Talk 910 KNEW. Warning. The Michael Savage Show contains adult language, adult content, psychological nudity. Listener discretion is advised. America's most exciting radio talk show, The Savage Nation. Here is Michael Savage.
I want to talk about San Francisco's economy and the hotels and the tourist industry being destroyed by liberalism here. I want to give you a microcosm. 2 high-end San Francisco hotels defaulted on large loans last month. One was the 97-year-old Stanford Court on Nob Hill, defaulted on an $89 million loan. 3 weeks later, at the end of July, the Four Seasons Hotel, built on Market Street in 01, withheld payment on $90 million it owned. Okay, so that's 2 hotels in San Francisco defaulting on large loans last month. Now you say, well, why? You could say high unemployment. You could say job insecurity. You could say that that's part of it, and I would agree with you. But that's not the whole reason. People are still traveling somewhere, and they're traveling to places, and they're traveling to cities. But why are they increasingly not coming to San Francisco is the question. I think you can trace it directly to the mayor, Gavin Newsom, and his team of communist buddies called supervisors who are anti-business, anti-tourism, anti-family, anti-man for that matter. I've never seen anything like this. Sure, the hotels themselves may have some responsibility, but I'd like to ask you, the listeners, if you agree with some who are saying that they're not coming here because of the changing makeup of the city, because of the liberalism of the city, because of the rudeness of the people in the city, because of the fact that you can hardly find signs in English, that you can hardly find anyone in a hotel to talk to you in English, that the climate in essence, the multicultural climate that is so welcoming to illegal aliens, particularly illegal alien drug dealers, is so unwelcoming to tourists. So I'd like to talk about the positive end of this. If you could reach any Newsom, the gadfly mayor, if you can reach any of the anti-family, anti-American supervisors who have stolen the city's pride, what would you say to them in order for you to come back to this city? And or what is your last experience in visiting San Francisco been? The phone number is 1-800-449-8255. Or if you care to talk about the CIA, go ahead. Go ahead. See if I care. I'll take calls on that as well. Let us see. I'll read you some emails from my Facebook account. Nah, I don't want to bother. They're very good. I can't read anything anymore. I get tongue-tied if I read anybody else's work, even a letter, an email, an article. I can't do it. You know, this is an extemporaneous medium. Let me tell you something about talk radio. It's an extemporaneous medium, and I realize what's been happening to me lately. Because I am so enmeshed in struggling to get my name off the list in England, where I don't belong. After all, they released the Lockerbie bomber a known murderer who killed 260 people. A known murderer. They released him for compassionate reasons. And the very same illegitimate liberal government of the United Kingdom, and make no mistake about it, I don't care what Gordon Brown said. They even admitted that they consulted with Eric Holder, okay, when they released the Lockerbie bomber. Believe me, they talked to each other. They won't take my name off the list. So what I'm saying is, because I have been reading these articles about my dilemma, and because I have been trying to convince you to buy Banned in Britain, I'm getting a little tongue-tied and a little exhausted, and I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm not going to read anything anymore. No articles, no emails, no newspapers. It's strictly a extemporaneous medium, and that's what I'm going to use from now on. So that's where we're going to go from here for now. Maybe it will change in the future, but that's it. So we've got a hotel industry that's ailing. We've got a tourist industry that's ailing. They're blaming it on the economy, which is partly true. I'm blaming it on the troubled fact that we have the most far-left radical government in the history of San Francisco driving tourists away and driving people out of the city with their hostile attitudes. San Francisco, Scott, welcome to the program.
Hey, Mike. I can't speak, about the traveling in particular, but, I'm a San Francisco resident. And, I walked out of my house the other day to notice that all the parking meters have now been changed to 9 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock in the morning. There's no notices put out of this.
Don't you understand? Any tourism needs to raise hundreds of millions of dollars more to give to the illegal aliens and the bums. So the best way to do it is to make workers like you give. We can give it to the bums and the illegal aliens.
And then, the media. Well, they say, if you have a problem with park in the parking garages. But then the city doesn't also tell you that it owns 75% of the parking garages. So, they say...
Did you know that most downtown hotels charge about $40 a night for parking? Did you know that?
Oh, most definitely. I'm in the hospitality industry, and, I have a business here in the city. And outside of my business, from the hours of 7 to 9 in the morning and from 3 to 7, I can't even park. So I'm...
I hear you, but Scott, let me ask you something. How many car windows are broken open every morning by the wonderful residents of San Francisco who are given so many services by the mayor and the supervisors, the wonderful people of the streets who go around breaking windows and stealing car radios and things inside cars? Everywhere I walk, I see shattered glass.
I pay $6,000 a month for my apartment, and I had my car stolen twice in front of my $6,000 apartment building. So
that's terrible.
It doesn't matter what neighborhood, like you just said.
I want somebody, I hear you, Scott, I want somebody from San Francisco to call this show and tell me, someone in the hotel business, I want you to lay out for the people how many different taxes have been put onto hotels by the anti-business, far-left liberal regime of Gavin Newsom. How many taxes are there on a hotel room in San Francisco? Okay? Chicago, Tim, you're up on the Savage Nation. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, Dr. Savage. Went on to your beautiful city of San Francisco for my honeymoon several years ago. Would hesitate to go back. I thought the homeless were just terribly aggressive over there. Berated you if you told them you didn't
That's
have
right. That's right. They insult your wife. They insult you. The cops do nothing because they've been told that these are the sacred cows of the city with more rights than the taxpayer. And who did it? The supervisors, the communist supervisors of the city. Thank you for the call. I'm going to let it all hang out right now. The people who are calling this show from around America have money and they travel. Have money, will travel. And many of them love this city, but they won't come back until there's a change of regime in this city, until the Al-Qaeda members inside City Hall are driven out. They're the Al-Qaeda against business. They hate capitalism and they hate business. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? But there's more to it than that. And let me explain it to you. There's no art in this city. Now you say, why, that can't be. They pride themselves on their arts and entertainment. Can you name anything in this city that is worthy of an international recognition? Name one arts performance in this city that's on the level of an international arts performance, and you won't find it. It is a it is a very provincial city, very much as it has always been, very charming. It's why I moved here. The weather is the best in the country. The fog rolling in over the hills is astonishing. But the radical left-wing Al-Qaeda members who have taken over City Hall have long hated business, have long hated tourists, have long hated real progress, and have taken the side of the bums and the illegal alien drug dealers. And that is why tourism is dying. Sure, the economy has something to do with it, but not everything to do with it. Other than looking at the fog and getting drunk in a restaurant, there's little to do here. It is an unchild-friendly city. There is nothing for children to do here. Nothing whatsoever. It's a city that hates children, and that's another reason people are not coming here. In fact, the supervisors, most of whom are not married, hate families. They sneer at you. They call you breeders. That's why you're not coming here. New York, WR. Dan, you've been here. What did you see here in the city?
Dr. Savage, you just struck a nerve when I could tell you I'm a former detective with the NYPD. My fiance and I went down to the pier. You know those guys who dress in the silver garb and they pretend they're robots? It's insane to watch. The atmosphere, and I knew I was in trouble when I went.
Yeah, the guy with the silver garb, I understand, is a supervisor as a part-time job. He makes more money as a mime than he does as a supervisor.
It's amazing. And when I went to the MoMA, and I